What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to your stimulus check update, stimulus package and infrastructure update, and daily news report for Tuesday, August 3rd. So we have a lot of news that we need to cover in today's video. First off, the stimulus package. This is that $3.5 trillion infrastructure package. Well, that is in question as of right now, and I want to explain why, and it comes down to the funding. We also are looking into the $1.2 trillion infrastructure package. That also is having some issues at this time, and progressives are pushing for a new $1,200 monthly guaranteed stimulus check. Well, I want to address that first because that's where a lot of people have questions. So again, we will get into all that in today's video. We will talk about COVID. We will talk about vaccinations at the end. So if you want to stick around for that, make sure you do so. Again, thank you guys for watching. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily uploads. And also, if you want to stay updated, make sure you subscribe so you never miss a video. All right, let's get into the update. First, progressives are pushing a new $1,200 monthly guaranteed income bill. This bill, it would provide $1,200 for those that qualify. This means if you are an individual making less than $75,000 per year, you would qualify. If you are a couple making less than $150,000 per year, you would qualify. However, a lot of media outlets, they were really misrepresenting this bill. They were saying that this is going to start in 2023. That's actually not true. This bill technically does start in 2023. However, it's a trial period. The trial period just means if you are part of a pilot program that does have a universal basic income or guaranteed income program out there, then yes, you would go from whatever you're making now to get $1,200 per month. However, the majority of Americans are not in those. So, this trial would go for 4 years from 2023 to 2027. However, the actual program, this bill, wouldn't technically start until 2028 if it was found successful. So I just want to make sure you understand that because this proposal isn't even in the infrastructure bill. Okay? This is just something that progressives are throwing out there as a new idea. Is it a good idea? I think this is something that has some backing behind it. There's some merit to it. However, it is still giving the American people guaranteed income. And that is what some people say that we do not need, because if we do that, many people will not go into work. Many people will not seek the things that they truly need or try to work for the things that they truly want. So we will see, but this is on the table. Now, let's talk about infrastructure, because at this time, a lot of people are saying we need to just focus on infrastructure. Let's focus on infrastructure first, and we can deal with stimulus later. Well, here's what we know. Democrats are now having a very tough time finding the pay-fors for the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. Now, they found the pay-fors. Okay? They found them. However, they're finding it difficult to get Republicans to support the bill because they are saying that the numbers don't match up. Republican John Thune, he had this to say, and I quote, "I want to see an updated list of the pay-fors and then get as much information from CBO, okay, the Congressional Budget Office, and the Joint Committee on Taxation about that as possible. For me, making sure that we're not just putting more on the deficit and the debt is a real issue." He also stated that only half of the proposed revenue sources are even scorable, meaning that a lot of the offsets Republicans are looking at right now won't even be judged as reducing the overall estimated cost. And that's a real issue. So they will not have a CBO score from this. And this is something that some Republicans say that if the entire bill isn't scorable, they will not support it. So again, the whole thing is up in the air again. Yes, we did have a vote last week. It was passed 67 to 32, which is good. But the thing is, that was just a procedural vote to open up debate and to eventually have a vote on the bill. So it was just the process. That's all the vote was on, not on the actual bill. Now, let's talk about that $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill, because that has just as many issues, if not more. Democrats are not able to find the revenue sources that they need in order to pay for this bill. Some are saying that they will likely work throughout the entire summer in order to find the revenue that they need in order to ensure that the bill is fully funded. But other Democrats say that the pay-fors are there. They are there. And I'm going to get to some of their different ideas in just a minute. The reason I wanted to bring this up, though, the main reason why I wanted to bring this up is because one of the reasons why adding a large stimulus package into the bill right now would be so difficult is because right now that would be something that doesn't have any, we're not really getting anything out of it. For instance, if we put money into, let's say, childcare, technically, okay, according to reports, according to multiple experts and economists, the United States would reap the rewards of affordable childcare in about 10 years. Okay, well, what if we gave $2,000 stimulus checks to the lowest income earners? People that are making less than, say, $25,000. That would be about 25 million Americans, right? What if we gave them $2,000? That would be $50 billion, a $50 billion bill. That is something that Democrats could find the money for. They could find a pay for that. However, and this is where things get so tricky, is right now progressives, most of them are asking for a monthly stimulus check. Not a one-time payment, a monthly stimulus check, recurring payment. The issue there is a recurring payment, let's say $2,000 per month going to that same, to the same 25 million people, right? That's $50 billion per month. Well, if they want this to go on for a year, for 12 months, that's $600 billion. $600 billion is a lot of money, especially in a package that is $3.5 trillion. But most expect, and I talked about this yesterday, that Democrats are already kind of balking at the idea that this is a $3.5 trillion. So some Democrats and all Republicans want to see this come down. Progressives want to boost this up. But Democrats are actually, kind of caving and lowering the amount, the $3.5 trillion offer. So most are expecting this bill is to come in right about $2 to $2.5 trillion. But we will see. And at $2.5 trillion, let's just say $2 trillion, that's the low end. If we were to pass a $600 billion bill for stimulus, just stimulus, that is going to be over 25%. Okay, over 25% of the bill would just go to stimulus checks. And that's one of the reasons why many are saying that this is probably not going to happen. We will not see a monthly stimulus check. However, we will most likely see some form of stimulus as things change. COVID cases increase. The eviction moratorium has expired. The unemployment benefits will be gone very soon, in like a month. We know the student loan payment pause will end on October 1st. The 15% increase to SNAP benefits, that will go away on October 1st as well. So a lot of the benefits that we've been seeing from the stimulus packages over the past year and a half, a lot of this stuff is going away. So we will see what happens there. Just to give you an idea of what some of the pay-fors are that Democrats are considering at this time. One, they want to change the Medicare rebate rule. They want to tax the mega IRAs, because this is something that many are just now finding out, that a lot of people have just been stuffing their IRAs with more and more money in order to get out paying taxes on it. Well, that's one way to do it. They want to increase the corporate tax rate, which we've heard multiple times. However, Joe Manchin is somewhat opposed to this, going from 21% all the way up to 28%. He says let's stick it right about 25%. But in the end, corporations are smart enough, they will figure out a loophole to get away from actually paying this. The Democrats also want to pull money from Medicare savings. They want to increase the top tax rate. They would like to increase the capital gains tax and enforce the IRS, or more IRS enforcement there. Right? These are some of the things they're discussing. But we will see. We do know President Biden is also asking federal agencies to find a way to extend the eviction moratorium. The CDC told President Biden last month that they would not be able to extend it any further. However, According to reports, the Biden administration waited until the last 2 to 3 weeks to see what else they could do. Reports also indicate that Nancy Pelosi has been pushing President Biden to get something going. However, Nancy Pelosi has already let the House go on recess, so at this time, there's not even a way they could vote on a bill unless she calls them back. And chances are she will not do that. However, Nancy Pelosi did state today, and I quote, "The administration stated their intention to identify all available authorities to extend the eviction moratorium. We all hope that this initiative is successful, but we will not relent until families and landlords have been protected from this crisis." And again, the House is on recess today. They're on vacation. So them not relenting seems a little bit odd. However, today, House Democrats are still in Washington. They do plan on meeting with Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen to discuss the national eviction moratorium and have her answer questions about why we're seeing so many delays from the states in dispersing the rental assistance funding. We currently know that about 6 million renters are behind in rent as of right now. More than 3 million people are at risk of being evicted, and there are still no protections yet. But again, President Biden is supposed to be on this. The Biden administration is asking landlords. They went to the states, they asked the states, now they're asking the landlords to please just refrain from evictions for the next 30 days if you have a federally backed loan. So they went to the CDC, they said no. They went to the states and localities, they said, well, no. And now they're going to directly to landlords say, hey, if you have a federally backed loan, just refrain from an eviction so that the administration has a little bit more time so we can figure it out. Now in COVID news, Denver is now the first major city to announce that they will have a vaccine requirement. This is interesting. All city government employees must be vaccinated. That's over 10,000 employees. The private sector high-risk workers must also get vaccinated as well. This means that any employee that works in a nursing home, homeless shelter, hospital, correction facility, schools, and even secondary schools must all get vaccinated. And if after September 30th you are still not vaccinated, employees will not be allowed to work and could be fined up to $5,000. This is in the city of Denver. So this is something that many larger cities are considering doing. So expect to see more of this very soon. The point of doing this, though, according to multiple city officials, and not just the city of Denver, they are saying the point of this is to get a handle on the COVID cases and prevent an even larger spike this fall. And just to give you an idea where we're at, in the United States as a whole, we have surpassed 50,000 hospitalizations once again. This is the first time that we have seen this since last February when we were seeing over hundreds of thousands of COVID cases per day. But what we know right now is the majority of hospitalizations are from people that have not been vaccinated, which means that if you are vaccinated, chances are you will not be hospitalized. There are 2 states that are pushing, or that not really pushing vaccines. These 2 states are Texas and Florida. What I can tell you is that in Texas, they have had 6,628 hospitalizations, and in Florida, they currently have 10,682 hospitalizations. So they are kind of going the wrong direction, but that is what it is. We will see what happens as we move forward. Just want to leave you with that little update for this morning. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing so you never miss an update, and I'll see you guys on the next one.